Your gut is currently deciding whether you will burn fat or store it forever. If you want to master your metabolism, subscribe now. This information is the missing piece to your health. We've been told for decades that weight loss is a simple math equation, calories in versus calories out. But if that were true, why do you know people who eat whatever they want and stay thin, while you struggle to lose a single pound despite eating salads and hitting the gym? The answer isn't in your willpower, it's in your microbiome. Over 2,000 years ago, Hippocrates, the father of medicine, said that all disease begins in the gut. Today, modern science is finally proving him right. Your gut isn't just a tube that processes food. It is a complex command center that dictates your hunger, your cravings, your immune system, and, most importantly, your body's ability to shed belly fat. If your gut is toxic, meaning it's overrun by bad bacteria and suffering from low-grade inflammation, it doesn't matter how many miles you run. Your body will stay in a protective, fat-storing mode. In this video, we are going to break down exactly how to detox your internal ecosystem so you can finally watch that stubborn fat disappear. This isn't about a juice fast or a temporary fix. It's about a total biological reset. Let's start with the hard truth. Your gut health is the primary cause of your belly fat. When your gut lining becomes compromised, a condition often called leaky gut, toxins and undigested food particles escape into your bloodstream. Your immune system sees these as invaders and triggers a state of chronic inflammation. To protect your vital organs from this inflammation, your body stores fat, specifically visceral fat, around your midsection. This isn't just padding, it's an active hormonal tissue that sends signals to your brain to keep you hungry and tired. To stop this, we have to look at the first and most important mechanism of a gut detox, the migrating motor complex, or the internal street sweeper. Most people think that to lose weight, you need to eat small meals throughout the day to keep the metabolism going. This is one of the biggest myths in the health industry. In reality, your gut has two distinct modes, eating mode and cleaning mode. When you are eating or snacking, your gut is busy absorbing. But the deep cleaning, the process that flushes out waste and prevents bacterial overgrowth, can only happen when your stomach is completely empty. Think of it like a busy restaurant. You can't mop the floors and deep clean the kitchen while customers are still sitting at the tables ordering appetizers. You have to close the doors to let the cleaning crew in. This cleaning crew is the Migrating Motor Complex, or MMC. It takes about 90 minutes to 2 hours after your last bite for this wave of electrical activity to even start. Once it starts, it takes another 90 minutes to finish the job. If you eat a single grape, a handful of nuts, or a splash of cream in your coffee, the cleaning cycle stops instantly. In our modern world, we graze from the moment we wake up until the moment we go to sleep. Because we never give our street sweeper a full shift, the trash in our small intestine begins to pile up. This leads to fermentation, which causes that painful bloating you feel after meals, and it feeds the bad bacteria that trigger sugar cravings. The first step to detoxing your gut and losing fat is simply giving your system space. Try to leave 4 to 5 hours between your meals. No snacking, no healthy juices in between, just water, black coffee, or plain tea. When you hear your stomach growl, don't reach for a snack. That growl is often the sound of your street sweeper finally getting to work. Once we've allowed the system to clean itself, we have to look at the residents of your gut garden. You are currently host to trillions of bacteria, and they are not just passive passengers, they are active participants in your metabolism. Some bacteria are fat-burning bacteria that help you break down fiber into short-chain fatty acids, which boost your metabolism. Others are fat-storing bacteria that are incredibly efficient at pulling every single calorie out of your food and signaling your body to store it as blubber. The diversity of these bacteria is the key. Imagine a garden. If you only grow one type of flower, the soil becomes depleted, and weeds eventually take over. Most Americans eat a very narrow diet, mostly wheat, corn, soy, and dairy. This creates a monoculture in the gut, where only a few types of bacteria can survive. The American Gut Project found that the healthiest people, with the lowest levels of body fat, were those who ate at least 30 different types of plants per week. This sounds like a lot, but it's easier than you think. A plant includes nuts, seeds, herbs, spices, fruits, and vegetables. If you have a salad with spinach, walnuts, sunflower seeds, and blueberries, you've already ticked off 4 plants. When you increase the diversity of what you eat, you are essentially sending reinforcements to your internal army. These good bacteria produce a compound called butyrate, which heals your gut lining and tells your brain to stop storing fat around your belly. What you eat has a massive impact, but it's not just about low carb or low fat, it's about high variety. Now, we have to talk about the clock. Your gut is not a machine that works the same way at 2 p.m. as it does at 2 a.m. Every cell in your body has a circadian rhythm. Research shows that our insulin sensitivity and our digestive enzyme production are at their highest in the morning and early afternoon. As the sun goes down, your gut starts to clock out for the night. When you eat a large, heavy meal at 9 p.m., you are dumping work on a skeleton crew. The food sits in your stomach longer, it ferments, and because your body is preparing for sleep rather than movement, it is much more likely to store those calories as fat. Furthermore, digesting a late meal requires a massive amount of blood flow and energy. This steals resources away from the repair work your body is supposed to do while you sleep. If your body is busy digesting pizza at midnight, it can't focus on burning fat or repairing your gut lining. This is why time-restricted eating is so powerful. Try to finish your last meal of the day at least 3 hours before you go to bed. This simple routine shift allows your gut to transition from processing to repairing. However, even if you eat the perfect diet and time your meals perfectly, there is a hidden switch that can ruin everything. This is the vagus nerve. Your gut and your brain are physically connected. Your nervous system has two main settings: fight or flight, stress, and rest and digest, relaxation. You physically cannot be in both at the same time. In our high-stress world, many of us spend our entire day in fight or flight mode. We eat while driving, while scrolling through stressful news, or while answering work emails. When you are stressed, your brain tells your body there is an emergency. It pulls blood away from your digestive system and sends it to your muscles so you can run from the tiger. Your stomach acid drops, your gallbladder stops releasing bile, and your gut contractions slow down. If you eat in this state, the food just sits there. It doesn't matter how healthy the food is. If the power to the gut is turned off, you won't absorb the nutrients, and you will end up bloated and inflamed. You have to manually flip the switch before you eat. This is why almost every ancient culture has a tradition of saying grace or sitting quietly before a meal. It's not just a religious practice, it's biological wisdom. A simple trick is the 3-breath rule. Before you take your first bite, take 3 slow, deep breaths. Make the exhale twice as long as the inhale. This signals the vagus nerve to tell the brain that you are safe. The brain then turns the power back on for your digestive system. It takes 30 seconds, but it can be the difference between storing that meal as fat or using it for energy. Finally, we have to look at what we need to remove. Sometimes detoxing isn't about adding fancy supplements, it's about stopping the attack on your gut. We are living in an environment that is hostile to our microbiome. One of the biggest culprits is the hidden chemicals in our food and water. For example, many of our crops are sprayed with glyphosate, a powerful pesticide. While it's designed to kill weeds, it also acts as a broad-spectrum antibiotic in your gut, wiping out the good guys and leaving room for the bad guys to grow. Then there's our tap water. Chlorine is added to city water to kill bacteria in the pipes, which is great for preventing cholera, but it doesn't stop working once you drink it. It continues to kill the delicate bacteria in your stomach. To truly detox, you have to play defense. Use a high-quality water filter to remove chlorine and fluoride. When possible, buy organic for the dirty dozen, the fruits and vegetables like strawberries and spinach that carry the most pesticide residue. If you can't afford all organic, at least wash your produce thoroughly with a mixture of water and baking soda. By reducing this toxic load, you allow your gut lining to finally heal itself. I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a lot to manage. And you're right. In the world we live in, keeping your gut healthy is difficult. It's difficult to avoid the constant snacks. It's difficult to find 30 different plants a week. It's difficult to put the phone away and just breathe before a meal. Our entire modern environment is designed to keep us stressed, overfed, and toxic. But while it is difficult, it is entirely possible. Your gut is one of the most resilient systems in your body. The cells that line your intestines replace themselves every few days. This means that you are only ever a few days away from a brand new gut. You don't need a 30-day cleanse kit from a supplement store. You need a routine that respects your biology. Imagine a day where you wake up and don't feel that immediate cloud of brain fog. Imagine getting dressed and realizing your pants feel loose around the waist, not because you've been starving yourself, but because the inflammation in your gut has finally subsided. This is the magic of gut health. When the gut is clean, the body naturally wants to be at its ideal weight. It stops fighting you. Your energy stabilizes, your skin clears up, and the stubborn fat that you thought was permanent starts to melt away. Because the hormonal signals that were keeping it there have finally changed. The routine is simple, but the consistency is where the power lies. Start by spacing your meals. Give that street sweeper 4 hours to work. Then look at your plate and ask, how can I add more variety? Throw some seeds on your salad. Use 3 different colors of bell peppers instead of 1, or try a new vegetable every time you go to the grocery store. Next, pay attention to the clock. Try to get your biggest meals in during the daylight hours and close the kitchen after dinner. And most importantly, before you eat, take those 3 deep breaths. Turn the power back on. This is a journey of subtraction as much as addition. Stop the constant grazing, stop the late-night binging, and stop the chemical assault. Your body knows how to heal itself. You just have to get out of its way. The reason this information is so important is because your gut health is the foundation of your entire life. It affects how you think, how you feel, and how you show up for the people you love. You aren't just detoxing to look better in a swimsuit, though that will happen. You are detoxing to reclaim your vitality. If you've been struggling with weight loss for years, please understand that it isn't a character flaw. It's a biological mismatch. You have been living in a world that breaks your gut, and then you've been trying to fix the symptoms instead of the cause. But now you have the blueprint. You know about the MMC, you know about plant diversity, you know about the vagus nerve, and you know about the circadian rhythm of your digestion. This shift won't happen overnight, but it will happen. Start with one of these mechanisms tomorrow. Maybe just start with the breathing or the water filter. Then add another. As your gut heals, your cravings for the bad stuff will naturally fade away, because the bacteria that crave sugar are being replaced by bacteria that crave fiber and nutrients. You will literally become a different person from the inside out. If you found this breakdown helpful and want to dive deeper into how these systems connect to your overall health, make sure you are subscribed. There is a lot more to uncover about how our bodies actually work. I'd love to hear in the comments which of these 5 mechanisms is your weakest link right now. Is it the snacking, the late-night eating, or the stress? Let me know, and let's start a conversation. I'll see you in the next video.